So just going to go through a couple dynamic stretches that we can do to improve flexibility. So a lot of people, when they think about stretching, they think about the static stretching, as in, standing there, doing a hamstring stretch, doing a calf stretch, basically anything where you're sitting there holding the muscle in a stretch position. So this is useful in certain situations, but for a lot of people, we need to more implement dynamic stretching rather than simply static stretching. So the difference with a dynamic stretch is it's essentially something that you're moving with, and it's about actively trying to engage and improve the range of motion of your joints, muscles and everything without just sitting in a static stretch. So one of the first ones to do for the upper body is simply using a piece of wood, like a broomstick handle. So what we're going to do from the side, we're going to have our hands right out as far as we can, standing up tall, keeping those arms straight, and then pulling that back, and then simply doing some circles with that. So you'll find as you get more flexibility, you'll be able to go further and further with this, as in bringing in your hands closer and closer. So it's going to help with your shoulder flexibility, and then you've also obviously got arm circles, things like that, when you're doing any sort of upper body routine workup and cooling down. So the next one to consider is a very good stretch, and it's pretty useful. It's essentially just getting into the squat position. So with the squats, a lot of people have poor flexibility in a range of different joints, and so to get a good squat going, we need to have good hip, knee and ankle flexibility. So three major joints need to be flexible enough to allow us to sit in that bottom squat position. So when we go down to do a squat, as we're coming down, my hips, knees and ankles all need to be flexible enough to allow me to do it. So a lot of people can't get down low with a squat, and especially can't load up a squat when they start going low. So what we need to do is find something strong. I'll just use this as an example. We could use a wall, a door frame, anything like that. So if you can't get down into the squat position normally under your own effort, a way to increase the flexibility is to simply sit in the squat position, trying to come down as low as you can, keeping the feet flat while you're doing it, and then trying to just move around and just sit in that bottom position as long as you can. So it's going to really help to loosen everything up and open everything up. So I'd recommend doing that for 3 to 5 minutes of just sitting as low down as you can, getting something to balance, sitting there in that bottom squat position, moving one side to the other, and just getting a feel for it. And you'll find over time you'll be able to get lower and lower with that squat and with that squat position. So another thing is when you're doing leg workouts, either before or after, you can do things like leg circles. So probably easiest to do this, again, grabbing something. So I've got the bar set up here. So what we're going to do, basically standing up and then throwing the leg back and forth to the full range that you can. And then obviously also in the same way. So just a few dynamic things that you can try to improve your flexibility if you're having issues with it. If you have any questions around what to do, how you're doing it, just send me a video so I can have a good look at it and make sure that you're doing it right.